Hey, welcome to our first PyCharm video. I'm going to show you how to start a new project in PyCharm and run our first Python script ever. So this video assumes that you've already installed PyCharm. PyCharm is an environment that professional coders use to code in Python. You should also have installed the Python programming language. So on a Mac, when you show the Launchpad, you should see both the Python launcher and PyCharm. I recommend installing PyCharm EDU. It's got some nice stuff that we might use in class later. So we're going to fire that up. And when you do fire it up, you're going to notice it doesn't really give you much to look at. You'll get this little menu. And possibly it might take you back to a project that you've already started. So that's what it's doing for me. If you've already messed around in here, then there's the project that I was working on. So I'm going to go ahead and close this project. And this is probably more like the screen that you're going to see when you first open up PyCharm. So PyCharm, kind of like brackets, you don't open individual files. You open an entire project, which is often comprised of many different files, and that project has its home inside of a folder. So we're going to create a new project. You want to dig through here and make sure that it's going into the right spot. Now probably when you first start, your location isn't going to look as pretty as mine, so I think you should click this folder. And typically where PyCharm likes to start people off is it likes to put people in the home directory, which is really hard to get to. Here's my home directory with that little home icon, and then down here they create this PyCharm projects folder, but that's almost never in this quick launch over here. So what you should do when you create a new project is pop over to your documents, create a new folder, and call it something like PyCharm projects. Then when you pop into there, you can create a new folder for each new project that you do. So I'm going to create a folder inside of my PyCharm projects folder called first project. And now that I'm inside of there, I'll hit open, and you can see that that first project is inside of my documents underneath there. That's what you want. Second thing you need to fix when you're doing a new project is the default Python interpreter is this virtual environment. I recommend you change this down to existing interpreter, and if nothing shows up in here, then click this down arrow, and Python 3.7 should be one choice. If you don't see anything in there, then click these three dots, and you want to use the system interpreter. You want to find the one that's 3.7. Okay? Don't use 2.7. That's old. That's built into every MacBook. You want to use 3.7. Okay? So I'm going to cancel this because I already had it set up. Oops, canceled too far. Sorry. Existing interpreter. Yep. And then we're set. Then hit create. And we get our environment window. So over here, kind of like brackets, you got your folders. There's my first project folder. There's nothing in there, and there's nothing over here yet because I don't have any files. One thing you might want to do is change your preferences. On a Mac, you hit the PyCharm here and go down to preferences. I've chosen a dark theme that's under appearance. It's called Darkula. Very cool. Some people also like different fonts. I believe that's under editor font. You can choose whatever different font you want to code in. And that's a nice place to get yourself set up. Try not to dig too deep into those because there's quite a lot of preferences, and most of them we don't care about yet. Next thing, create a new file. My easiest way to do this is just to right click and then go new file under first project. I'm going to call this hello.py. .py triggers it to know that it's a Python code file, and that goes into the first project folder. And I'm going to type our first line of Python here. Print, quote, hello world. First thing you'll notice probably right away is I don't need a semicolon on the end of this. Python does not use semicolons like JavaScript. The print command is a command that will take this string and print it to the Python interpreter output. So I'll save that. Oh, and I don't even need to. PyCharm auto-saves, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to run it. Now, run, you'll notice, it's really hard to find run anywhere in here when you're digging around. And I'm going to show you a little trick. When you want to find a command in Python, you can hit Command-Shift-A and just type in some search. And I want to run, so I'm going to click run, and there it is. This Command-Shift-A thing allows you to search for anything that you can do in Python, or PyCharm rather. So if you know what you want to do, just hit that real quick and type it in. So slick. Another way you can run it for the first time is to right click it, and there's a run command down here. I'm going to do that. When you do that, you get the Python interpreter output right here, and all it did was it outputted hello world right there. If you want to run it again, you can hit this play button. If I make a change, hello again, run it again, and you can see that that change happened like that. It's kind of like refreshing your web page when you rerun the code. So that's pretty much it for our intro. We're up and running with PyCharm. Watch future videos to learn actual stuff about Python code.